Hey guys! So if you've seen my previous videos, you might know that I recently went to visit Thailand and Bangkok to visit some Canadian friends of mine. But something you guys don't know is that, well, something happened to me at the airport on the way back home. So there I was, sitting alone in the DMK airport with my half-eaten 7-Eleven sandwich that was once toasted and now soggy. When suddenly, I saw him. And this guy was pretty much... he was my type. He was tall, but like not lanky at all. Like he was clearly someone who spent a lot of time at the gym, but at the same time, he wasn't like super cut, like not like a super bodybuilder, lean kind of person. Like he had muscle, but there's like a layer of like fat and fluff over the muscle, which makes him just look so huggable, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah. I saw him and he was sitting across from me at the time and we made very brief eye contact and it made me like, you know, look away immediately because I'm a nervous bitch, okay? I still feel very nervous around other gays or men where like I feel like I don't want to act or come off as too gay in front of them, you know? And then when the staff called for boarding, I just remember feeling so sad because I was like zone 1, so I was like the first person to get up. And I remember just like thinking to myself, man, I just wish I got the chance to know him. Like I just wish I could have run into him like at a gay club or like at DJ station or like at the gay sauna that I went to, because then like I'd have like a chance, because it would confirm that he's gay, and then like, you know, if we're in that environment, it's like normal to talk to people there, right? But yeah, I was just like dreaming to myself because, you know, here we are at the airport and, you know, I'm probably never gonna see this guy again. So there I was, you know, preparing to board the plane, lining up, and I was, you know, trying to come up with excuses to kind of like look back here and there, to, you know, scratch my head, to like look at him some more before it was time to go. Then I get on the plane and that's that. I find my seat and I get nice and comfy, closing my eyes, waiting for the plane to take off. And then boom, there he was, right next to me. Okay, well technically there was a girl that was like situated between us, but like still though, y'all cannot even imagine the excitement that I felt. Because I was thinking to myself, ooh, did I manifest this? Because what are the odds of him sitting next to me? But then soon all that excitement turned to dread. And do you know why? Well, it's because of this. So just to give you guys a little bit of context, I have this journal that I actually handmade. This is a handmade journal. I made this myself. So in this journal, I actually have a list. And this list is my 28 years old, wouldn't it be cool this year if list. So basically, this is like a list of goals and accomplishments and things that I want to do before the end of this year. I really like it formatted this way with this question, wouldn't it be cool if? Because it feels like there's like a lot less pressure to actually complete these goals. Because, you know, it's just, oh yeah, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? But you know, if it doesn't happen, there's no chip off my shoulder. It's like totally fine. So yeah, I guess you can say it's like a manifestation list, I guess, as well. But anyways, yeah, so on this list, I've written, wouldn't it be cool if I explicitly ask a boy I like out on a date? Because like I've always had problems approaching people and telling people how I feel about them. I guess you could say it's still very like high school or immature in that sense, but it's just, you know, something that I am genuinely scared of. I'm scared of approaching people and I'm scared of like telling them that, you know, I'm interested in them. Like, hey, you just go on a date, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I don't go on a lot of dates, okay? And people very rarely ever ask me out on a date. So a lot of the stuff that I learned how to do is based off of media and that kind of stuff. And I'm still learning how to be cool and normal when it comes to just asking someone out on a date, someone that I'm interested in. So I wrote down in this journal, wouldn't it be cool if I asked someone that I liked out on a date as a way for me to like, you know, actually do it. So back to me on the plane. So now you know that I'm sitting there watching as this boy, this really cute boy, sit down sort of next to me. And I was like super excited because, you know, like, oh my God, the cute guy is actually on the same plane and he's sitting right next to me. Like, what are the odds? What are the fucking odds? The God is on my side. I manifested this. But then at the same time, all I could think about was what I wrote in my journal. And I thought, okay, this is my moment. Like, when did these kinds of things happen in real life, huh? This is literally a K-drama rom-com moment. But you see, the thing is, I could literally feel myself and hear myself coming up with excuses to like not talk to this guy. Like I was thinking stuff like, oh my God, yeah, if this girl wasn't sitting like in between us, like I would totally like be talking to him right now. Or like, you know, oh yeah, the guy's like probably not even gay, so like what's even the point of like trying to talk to him? Like, it doesn't really matter. This is just like a crazy coincidence. And like, yeah, just like this whole slew of negative thoughts kept piling on in my head, like trying to justify and give myself reasons to like not talk to this guy. Pretty soon, you know, I like caught myself thinking all these things and like I took a moment to like calm myself down, and eventually I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna talk to him, and if it doesn't work out, It's fine. Anyways, we're in the air now, right? And I'm like, I'm like freaking out. I'm like sweating. I'm like trying to think of like conversation starters or like how I'm going to like, talk to him. I'm like glancing over at him, and that's when I noticed that his fly was open. And I was like, oh my God, yes! That's my way in. I mean, my way into starting a conversation with him, not like into his actual pants. So there I was trying to formulate and memorize a script in my head to try to like, talk to him. So in my head, I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna scoop my way over, trying to go to the bathroom. And like, he's probably going to stand up, to be courteous. And like, as he stands, I'm gonna try to whisper to him, like, hey brother, your fly is open, man. Like, super chill, super suave, super like nonchalant. And then he's gonna be like, oh shit, thanks, man. Oh yeah, no worries, man. Then I was gonna go into the bathroom, pretend to do a little tinkle. Then I was gonna walk my way back, and then I was gonna introduce myself, like, oh yeah, I'm Brian, by the way. It was nice to meet you. Oh yeah, I'm the hot guy. Oh, by the way, thanks for that, man. Like, you saved me some embarrassment there. That could have been pretty bad. Oh yeah, dude, no problem. It's all good. Things like this, it just happens, right? Oh, by the way, you're landing in Ho Chi Minh City, right? Yeah. I mean, you want to hang out sometime? Oh yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like going over the script in my head, like memorizing it to a T, And every time I like ran this scene through my head, I like was steadily gaining the courage to actually do it. Midway through the flight, I decided it was time to enact my plan of destiny. So I stood up, kind of scooched my way over. The girl and the guy stood up in order to let me pass. And then I tapped him, nudged him a little bit, got his attention, and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, your fly is open. What? Your pants. Code red, y'all. I left. I ran away straight into the bathroom. I just felt so cringed at myself for what happened. Like my eyes, they were like rolling all the way into the back of my head, into the fourth dimension over the shame of what happened. Like, how was I going to talk to him now? Things right now were just awkward. And nobody wants to interact with awkwardness, right? When you see awkwardness or you see cringe, the natural reaction is just to look away, stay away from the cringe. And I cringed the shit out of him. I don't even know what happened. I just think like he just misunderstood me, or he misheard me, or so then I decided that there was only one option left in this venture. I'm just gonna write him a note. Nice and simple. That way I can be articulate, and it's like the least scary way to like approach someone, really. Once we like land and get off the plane, I could just be like, very chill, be like, oh hey, yeah, you dropped this note. I can't possibly mess that up. So I head back into my seat, and yeah, thankfully it's like not super weird. He just stands up and like allows me to like get back into my seat, and his fly was still open. So I'm back in my seat. I take out a piece of paper, and then I realized I don't have a pen. Now, normally I like to write and stuff, so I always carry a pen with me. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I left my pen at the hotel, or I lost it on the way from the hotel to the airport. Yeah, so since I was penniless, I decided to, wait like 10 to 20 minutes before I had to go to the bathroom again. Like, oh my God, I felt so annoying. Like, I kept making this guy stand up for me, and I made him feel really awkward in our first interaction. It was not looking good. Guys, it was not looking good. So I went to the bathroom again, pretended to tinkle, and then on my way out, I asked a flight attendant if I could borrow his pen. So now I'm finally back in my seat, and just in time too, because the plane was beginning to descend. So here's the note that I wrote. So yeah, I had this note nestled in my hand, and I was waiting for the perfect moment to give it to him. The plane then lands, and the guy was like, he was super quick to get out of his seat, and he was like one of the first people to like, take the luggage out of the overhead compartment. It like seemed like he wanted to leave ASAP. And like, oh my God, it like made me feel like part of the reason why he wanted to get off so bad was because of me. Like, I just felt like maybe it was because I just kept annoying him, or that he knew that I was interested in him, and he wanted to stay the fuck away from me. Because like legit, I could also tell, like from the corner of my eyes, I could tell that like every now and then he would like look back, look behind, like look around the plane. But even though he wasn't looking at me, I knew he was looking at me. You know what I mean? It's either he's looking at me because he actually finds me, cute, or he's looking at me because he is freaked the fuck out and I annoyed him too much and I am coming off too strong, and like he's checking to see if I'm constantly looking at him, that kind of thing. But yeah, in either case, it did not help with my nerves. So after like 10 minutes, it was time to leave the plane. Since he got up first, he was like one of the first to leave. So I like went out to the airport and I started speed walking, I didn't want to miss him. I didn't want to miss my chance of giving him this note. And my heart sank a little bit because I didn't see him right away. But then I did see him way off into the distance. He was walking super slowly. He had his phone in his hand. He was texting and dragging his carry on along, and I knew this was my moment. Nothing could stop me now. And like, you know, while I was walking to him, I had to like, you know, hype myself up a little bit. I kept telling myself that it's not that big of a deal. I should be calm, I should be fine. Constantly reassuring myself like so. So yeah, with all these thoughts in mind, I walk up to him and I tap him on the shoulder. He turns to me and like, he obviously recognizes me. He has like this look of concern. And immediately I just hand him the note and say, hey, you dropped this. He takes the note, but he barely even looks at it. He's like, what is this? And you know, my heart was racing, but I tried to keep a very cool exterior. I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. You just like dropped it, man. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see ya. And I just like sped walked through and I told myself to not look back. I made it onto immigration and I was just like waiting in line for the passport check, and I just felt like, I wish I could say I felt relieved, but to be honest, I was still very anxious at that moment. Like I kept checking my phone, seeing if, you know, he like sent me a text or something, and I kept fighting the urge to like, you know, look behind me to see if he was like looking at me or like if he was somewhere around me. And eventually I was like, you know what? It's done. I just told myself to like stop thinking about it, and I did a pretty good job of doing just that. I did not look at my phone, check on the socials. When I did go on the phone, just to check Grindr and to look at other boys. But then yeah, the rest of the day was super uneventful. I got home, I played with my dog, played some video games, had a very normal, uneventful day. And then eventually I did totally forget about it. And it wasn't even on my mind anymore by the time dinner rolled around. And I was just like really happy, you know? So I got ready for bed, took the time to detail out the events of this day in my journal, and then decided to check my phone one last time before going to bed. And guess what? He responded! So the guy, he added me on Zalo, which is like the Vietnamese WeChat. This is the message that he sent me. Could you believe it? Not only was he gay, but he was actually interested in meeting me. As you can imagine, I was feeling all sorts of things that night. I manifested the shit out of this. God was on my side. Hallelujah. Praise be. So yeah, we started talking. I learned that like, you know, he's only visiting here for Tet, which is like the Vietnamese Lunar New Year. And like, he's actually not in the city. He's actually going to his home province. And as soon as the Vietnamese New Year is over, he was gonna go straight back to Thailand. So like, there really was no chance that we would meet again in person. But still, like, you know, we were very cordial, expressed, you know, pleasantries, and yeah, and then we remained connected. And you know, I still like spoke to him or tried to get to know him more like the next few days, and then eventually like the conversation fizzled out naturally. So yeah, nothing super spectacular came out of it, but the event itself was spectacular. You know what I mean? So yeah, now we're friends. But anyways, yeah, that is my little airport romance story. Barely any romance and mostly just awkwardness and angst on my side. I don't know if I'm gonna meet this guy again, but you know, I do plan on going to Bangkok, so maybe we will meet again. But if that happens, I'll keep you guys updated. Anyways, that's all I had to say for now, so thank you again, and I guess I'll just see you guys next time. Bye!